If a system contains more than one object, you find the total momentum of the system by taking the vector sum of each individual momentum. The way to show this mathematically is P system is equal to the sum, that's what that symbol is there, the sigma, of each individual momentum of each particle or object. And the little I here shows that I can be 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So here we have a case where we have 3 momenta, leaving the possibility open for more. And of course, momentum is mv. And one more point, you have to note that the momenta add as vectors, not as scalars. So you need to know their sign, or later on when we do 2 dimensions, you have to know what angles they make with a certain reference frame. The process we'll use to determine the total momentum of a system is, first of all, determine a direction that will be considered positive. And mark that on your problem sheet when you're doing it. So in this case, to the right is positive. So in that case, to the left would be negative. Anybody who has momentum in that direction, you will give a positive value to. And if you have momentum in the opposite direction, you will give it a negative value. Then you would add these positive and negative numbers to get your total momentum of the system. If that sum is positive, then the momentum would be to the right. If the sum is negative, then the total momentum of the system would be to the left. You could also talk about that as being to the east, to the west, positive, negative. As long as you stay consistent and clearly identify what you're working with, it's just fine. Determine the momentum of a system that has 2 objects, m1, that's over here, which has a mass of 6 kilograms and a velocity of 13 meters per second towards the east, and m2 over here that has a mass of 14 kilograms and a velocity of 7 meters per second towards the west. So let's talk about east being positive, fairly typical to the right. We've written down our givens here. The equation is the total momentum equals the sum of each individual momentum, which will be m1v1 plus m2v2. So before we pull the box down here, you can pause the video if you'd like and work the problem. Okay, if you're back now, let's pull the box down. Here's our total momentum. For this object here, it's 6 kilograms. The velocity is to the right, which is the positive direction, so we put in a positive 13. This object is going to the left. That's a negative 7. We do the arithmetic, and we find out that the total momentum is negative 20 kilogram meters per second, so that means the total momentum is to the left, or to the west, or negative, depending on which answer you want to give. And as long as you stay consistent, you'll be fine.